Hello everybody, Claudia Boleyn here, and this is my coming out story. Okay, so I said ages ago that I would tell you about the day I came out, or the first time I came out, and I haven't got around to it yet, and I finally thought, let's tell this story. It's 100% true. It's not really that exciting. I think the first misconception about coming out is that you just come out once, because I have come out 4 times to members of my family, and then you find yourself coming out not on a daily basis, but kind of quite frequently when you meet new people and people start to realise that you're not straight, because we live in a heteronormative society where for some reason people expect everyone to be straight. So when you deviate from that, it kind of surprises the straight people a little, but I like that. It's like being a bi spy. That's totally what I am. I'm undercover. So not many people just have one coming out story, because I mean, I do have a friend who gathered all her family together to tell them. And it was kind of dramatic, and she wanted them all in one place, and she did it that way, and that kind of worked for her. But most of the people I know who are LGBT didn't do it like that, and they had to do it in bits like I did. So I think that's the more common story that you're going to hear. The first person that I told in my family was my grandma, and we were on holiday. My brother and me and my grandma and my granddad had gone on holiday to York, and originally I hadn't planned to tell my grandma first. I kind of wanted to be able to talk about it to my mum, but because of circumstances which I will not be going into in this video, we weren't really able to have that conversation. So I was spending some time with my grandma and granddad and my brother, and my granddad and my brother went off to do something together, and my grandma and I were left in the hotel, and we decided to stay back and have a sandwich. So we're sitting there in like the hotel restaurant bar thingy, and I've got I remember it very clearly, I had a smoked salmon and cream cheese sandwich, and it was really nice, and I had a Coke with a piece of lemon in it, and it was gorgeous. It was ice cold, and actually just thinking about it is making my mouth water. It was really good. So grandma's sitting across from me, and we get talking about school, and as like most grandmas, she wants to get the gossip, so she's asking me about my lessons, and am I working hard? Not really. What am I getting up to at school? Am I being a good girl? No. And then she asks me, are there any boys that I'm into at the moment? So suddenly I just sit there and I have this moment. It's like, I wasn't expecting it to be then, but I suddenly thought, maybe now is the time to say it. I don't know, because I was thinking to myself, right, okay, there was a girl I liked. I'm not going to go into who it was or the situation or anything, and I don't think this person even knows that I liked them, and they never will know, ever. But there was this girl I really liked. I had like a bit of a massive crush, and when she said, is there anyone at school that you like, any boys, this girl came into my head, and it was just like, it was like a teen movie, like there was like a bubble, and there she was looking really beautiful. And I thought, you know what, my grandma's a nice person, and I know she supports LGBT charities because my grandma's really nice like that. So I thought, you know, she's not going to take this badly at all. So I kind of said to her, I was nervous, I was really nervous, and I felt myself go like hot and cold. And it was like one of those moments where you know you're going to remember it for the rest of your life. Like my whole body just went hot and cold. It was really weird. And I took a sip of my Coke, like really cool, put the Coke down, looked across the table, and I said, well, Grandma, there aren't really any boys. So I'm waiting to see if she's going to pick up on that, because I'm actually a bit nervous about just coming out and saying it, really, because I'm not even sure where I'm at. I mean, I'm kind of not even used to saying the word bisexual at that point. It's just something I've been thinking about to myself, and I haven't really said it out loud properly. So it's kind of like a taboo word, and I don't want to go there. And so she kind of looks at me curiously, and she like wills me to continue. So I think, okay, this is safe, this is alright. So then I pluck up the courage and I go, but maybe there's a girl, I think I might be bisexual. And then there's a pause, and it's like a scary pause, because I've never said this before, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what if she laughs at me or something awful, and oh, I can't believe I've just said this, and I feel really hot and embarrassed, because even though your sexuality shouldn't be like linked to sex, in the society we live in, for some reason, sexualities that aren't straight are linked to sex. I don't know why that is. It's like they want to pretend we don't have meaningful romantic relationships. It's just about the sex. So it felt kind of weird and dirty saying it, actually. And I think that's a problem a lot of people get. But anyway, so I'm sitting there with my grandma, and I'm just letting it sit there in the air, and I'm nervous, and I want to take another sip of the Coke, but I'm worried I'm going to fumble the Coke and look like a fool in the middle of this bar. So I'm trying to play it cool, just, you know, chilling. And she doesn't know she's the first person I've told either. I mean, for all she knows, I've told everyone so far. And bless my grandma, she just thinks about it for a moment, and she goes, well, that's okay, isn't it? Isn't that nice? That's okay, isn't it? And she was just like checking that it was all okay with me, and just like my fear just went, and I thought, thank God. It felt like a wave. I felt so relieved about that. and it felt like a weight off my shoulders. Like, people who are straight and don't have to do this, I don't think you realise, like, the weight that comes off, because you feel like a liar, even though you haven't lied to anyone, and it's the society you live in which is technically the liar, because it tells everyone that you're all straight. And so it's a shock when you're something other than straight. And I want to, hopefully, by the time I leave this earth, make some sort of change to that. I don't think we should be, like, thinking everyone is straight unless proven otherwise. We should just be like, there are lots of sexualities and people could be whatever. It's not a huge surprise if someone isn't. But anyway, so this weight was lifted off my shoulders and I just felt light, and I felt kind of like euphoric. And I really enjoyed that salmon sandwich after that, and I felt very close to my grandma, and she just basically said to me that if I was, then it was fine. It might be that I'm not, because some people think they are and they're not, but if I am, then it's completely fine and it's alright. And she basically just advised me to give it a bit of time, think about it, and just see if that was the way I was. So that was really nice. That was my first coming out story with my grandma, and that was nice. And I feel like I have a bond to my grandma because of that. She was the first person I told, and she wasn't even the first person I intended to tell. In terms of family, I mean, my friends knew already, but like, you tell your friends stuff you don't tell your family, don't you? The second person I told was my mum, and she wasn't really too great. She wasn't bad about it. She's not like homophobic and stuff like that. She's not like, well, I think a lot of people who are straight and haven't had to challenge their belief systems hold some views which are homophobic, but they're not like, I hate gay people, I hate LGBT people. They've just never had to think about it before, so they've got a lot of stuff in them which is kind of homophobic, but it's not intentionally homophobic. It's just there because they're straight and they've got that privilege and they're not used to thinking about it. So I was kind of nervous about telling her. Now, one of my best friends when I was in sixth form was gay, and was gay, still is gay. She's still gay to this day, yeah. And so my mum kind of knew that she was gay because at this point she'd sort of come out, and I don't actually know how my mum knew that. I think she asked me a couple of times, and I didn't like come out and tell her until my friend had come out, but yeah, so my mum knew that my friend was gay, and she basically, I don't know if she thought I was kind of just jumping on the bandwagon or something. I don't know. But when I told her the first time, it was weird. She kind of like just looked at me like shocked. Like, she kind of looked at me like she thought I was joking. Her face kind of like froze, like she was expecting me to go, April Fools, it's a lie, I'm not really bi at all. I didn't even say bi, I said I think I like girls as well. And she just, I don't think she actually believed it. I think she thought it was some sort of attention thing. I mean, as I say, our relationship was really weird then, and things were going on which I don't want to talk about, which was strange, so we couldn't talk properly. And then the weirdest thing happened, she forgot about it. Like, genuinely, I came out to my mum, and then she forgot about it. She forgot I'd come out, and I had to come out again. I don't know how this happened. I genuinely don't know how you can forget your daughter's come out to you, but she did. And it was very embarrassing because we were talking about like some actors that we liked, and we were talking about our list of like top 5 most attractive people, and I thought, well, I've already told my mum. Bear in mind, I'd forgotten that she'd forgotten. Well, I had no idea that she'd forgotten. I mean, you don't expect your mum to forget you've come out. Like, that's one of the weirdest things, actually. Now I look back at that is weird. But I just kind of, I slipped in an actress that I liked. I mean, it's pretty obvious that I liked her. I had like pictures of her around my room, and I was always drawing her and stuff like that. And my mum looked at me like, are you gay? And I'm thinking, Mother, I did come out to you. I did come out to you a couple of months ago. Like, I don't know where that went in your subconscious. I don't know if that just went straight out the other ear. I don't know. So I had to do it again. I had to be like, Mum, you do know I kind of like women as well. Like, I think I like women. And it was just a bit awkward. And we got into a lot of arguments, actually, after I first came out. Because my mum, like I say, she's not like a horrible homophobic person in the sense that she's not like, I hate gay people. And if she saw a person on the street that was getting like homophobic abuse or something, like obvious homophobic abuse, like a lot of straight people, of course she'd get involved. She'd get involved and she'd say, leave that poor person alone. But also, like a lot of straight people, like I said, she's absorbed a lot of stuff. And I remember around the time I came out, it was the whole gay marriage debate, the equal marriage stuff, and it was on the news a lot. And I remember my mum was anti it, because and I remember getting really upset and angry around that time, because I'd already come out to her, and yet she was saying things like, I don't see why they have to have our word for it, and you know, it's kind of like, what will be next? Will someone be allowed to marry their dog? Now, I just want to say here that my mum has completely changed her opinion on this now, because, you know, she's kind of learned through me, and, you know, having a daughter who's queer, I think she's kind of got more you know, she's really not a horrible person in that sense. But she came out with these things, and I was just sitting there like, what? What are you talking about? So we had some really big arguments there, and my mum didn't understand why it was personal to me. Now I think about it, maybe she'd forgotten for a second time that I'd come out. But we had some big arguments over that, and it was uncomfortable for a while. But anyway, yeah, for my mum, I came out like 3 or 4 times, and like finally she has got it now. But she did ask me, like, after I'd come out like 4 times, she kept saying, are you still bisexual, do you think? Do you think you are still bisexual? Yes, still bisexual. I'm still bisexual. I didn't just come out on a whim. I didn't come out 4 times on a whim, mother. But yeah, so that was the second time I came out. The third time I came out was like a casual coming out, and it was to my brother, and you know, I knew my brother would be like fine with it. My brother's great, and he's really like, I mean, there was absolutely no way in hell he was going to be homophobic. He's just so nice, there's just no way. But still I was nervous about like how to say it. Like, I didn't want to make a big deal of it and be like, Dan, sit down with me, I have something to tell you. It appears that I may like girls. I didn't want to do that because I thought, you know, we don't have that sort of relationship where we do things dramatically like that. We just sort of talk casually, and we relate to each other a lot through humour, and we watch a lot of TV together, and we're just really good friends, but we're not that sort of brother and sister. So I just kind of slipped it in the conversation. You know, we're talking about Dan, like we're talking about actresses or something, and my mum's saying about an actress that's really nice on the TV, and she's doing that thing. She puts Dan on the spot. She still does it. My brother's 17. He's almost 18, and she still does it to him. Where she's always like, who do you think's prettier, this actress or this actress? And my brother doesn't like to answer. He's very private about who he likes. I did think for a while, maybe my brother's not straight. Maybe there's 2 of us in the family, but no, he is straight. But yeah, he's quite private about it. He doesn't really like to talk about it. And my mum will always ask. So I thought, okay, this is an opportunity to just sort of like get it out there and get him used to it and that kind of thing. So I just kind of went, oh, I like so-and-so, I think she's prettier. And to make it really clear that I wasn't just having a girl crush, I was like, if I had to pick one to go out with, I'd go out with her. And Dan just sort of looked at me, gave a little confused smile, sort of took it in, and that was that. And we just sort of like, he just sort of got it. We got on with it. There was one argument we had where like he used to play like on his, is it PS3 where they have the headsets on, and he used to sit there playing that with his friends, and he had this friend that used to sit there, and whenever he would lose he'd be like, oh my god, you're so gay, oh my god, you're gay, and it used to really piss me off. And I do remember we had a conversation where I was pissed off and I was saying to Dan like, look, I'm sitting in the room with you, like, can you like stop your friend from doing that, because it's really pissing me off in the living room. So we had an argument there, but he's really great now. He's the sort of person that sticks up for people, I think. He definitely has really been there for me. So that was cool, that was fine. And the last big coming out was to my dad. I'm missing out my granddad here because like my grandma and my granddad are like one person technically. They're like, I absolutely adore my grandma and granddad. You probably already know this. I love them so much, and like my grandma and I have that bond, and she like organises stuff, and she's like some medieval queen, and she's like the matriarch of the family. And my granddad is just the most lovely man. And we have such a special bond. Like, I really love my granddad. I get emotional thinking about how much I love my granddad, honestly. Like, because my dad wasn't around when I was younger, my granddad's really, like, he really stepped up, I think. And together, my grandma and my granddad became that sort of second parent, in a way. Like, it was weird, really weird. I love them so much. But I didn't need to tell granddad because he just kind of got it through grandma, and then it just sort of happened. Actually, no, I do have a little story to do with my granddad, and it was the nicest thing. He knew I was out, but we never really talked about it because, again, we're not that sort of family. We don't really do that. And I remember we were in the car and my granddad was driving me home from somewhere. I think he'd just taken me to my therapy because I was really ill at that time. And it was the Tom Daley incident. It was around that time. And I remember granddad saying to me in the car something like, oh, I've heard people saying horrible things about that swimmer that's come out or something. So I sat there and I thought, okay, here we go. I don't know what's going to happen here. And he said, I don't know why there's no reason for people to be like that. I mean, what is it, the Victorian era? And I could have cried because like I feel like that was my granddad's way of being like accepting and like I accept you, because we don't talk about that kind of thing. Like we wouldn't just say it out, but that was him being like, it's not the Victorian era and I support you. And yeah, my family's been really good on the whole, like the occasional thing, but it's not massive, you know, I've dealt with it. So yeah, anyway, with my dad, this is the last one I'm going to tell you in terms of family. There isn't really a friend story to tell, so I'll just go with family. So when I told my dad, it was on the phone. Now, this is a weird sort of thing, because I had my YouTube channel, and I I kind of started my YouTube channel and then I started seeing my dad more because we hadn't seen each other for a very, very long time, and you know, my family split up, so there were like massive periods of my life where I did not see my dad at all, and obviously now I see him more and I speak to him all the time. But he rang up and he'd seen a video it was a terrible video and I've actually deleted it now, but it was a video about gay marriage, and for a start I called it gay marriage, and bear in mind I was totally new to the community and I was just trying to find my feet and that kind of thing and express myself, and you know, it was kind of transphobic as well, in a way, because like I was kind of referring to, oh god, I was doing that awful rookie mistake where you say like the opposite gender and that kind of thing. Oh, it's cringy when I think about it. But yeah, so I deleted that. But anyway, I made that video, and then the day after my dad rang the house as usual to talk to me, and he just asked me on the phone, he just said, darling, are you gay? And I just said, no, I'm not gay, Dad. I'm bisexual. I like girls as well. I like different genders. And actually, I don't think I said different genders. I'm censoring myself. I think I said I like both genders, but I know there's not just two. I was young, forgive me. I was young and silly. You know what we're like. We grow up with this rubbish in our heads and we have to challenge it. But anyway, yeah, and he just sort of said, oh, right. Oh, okay. Like, do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, I wish. No, I didn't have a girlfriend, so I said, no, I don't. I just kind of, you know, like girls. And he just went, oh, right. Oh, okay then. All right. Well, that's all right, isn't it? It's like my grandma, like, that's all right, isn't it? I'm sorry, that impression of my dad is terrible. I make him sound like some sort of cockney or something. He's not a cockney. But, yeah, so that was it with him. And I haven't had any trouble from my dad at all, or... my Indian family, like, I worried about, like, I worried about, like, if anyone in that family would not like it. Not in the sense, not because they're Indian, because, like, I don't know that side of the family so well, and there's so much of the family, and I worried, because I knew on my English side, I know most of my relatives, and they wouldn't be. But, no, I haven't had anything really bad happen at all in terms of family. So I'm actually really lucky. God, this video's long, but that's kind of my coming out story to my family, and none of it's particularly exciting. You're probably expecting me to be like, I got all my friends and relatives in a big hall and I got out some party poppers and confetti and I played I'm coming out, I want the world to know, and I came down a massive staircase like Hermione in the Goblet of Fire and announced it to everybody. Yeah, so that was my coming out story. My friends, we had this, it was different with my friends because my best friend at sixth form was gay, and she came out to me, and I kept it secret for a year because she didn't want anyone to know, so I knew she was gay that whole time, and her being there and going through that like a year in advance from me really helped me, actually. It helped me through it because I saw what it was like for her and how she dealt with it, and yeah, so that actually really helped me in a way. So, although we were awful because we were really supportive of each other, but I swear we were both like kind of slightly offensive to each other as well. Bear in mind we were in sixth form and we didn't know anything about the communities really. We were just sort of like finding our feet, like two young queers finding our feet. And like, I believe that she told me that she thought that bisexuality didn't exist, and it was like having was it having your cake and eating it? I've never understood that expression because, yeah, you're going to eat your cake. If you've got a cake, what are you going to do? Just leave the cake? I don't understand. And then I think I said to her that I thought everyone must be secretly bisexual or something. We were so clueless anyway. So, but yeah, we really did help each other through. Or she doesn't even know that she helped me through in that massive way, but she really did. So, yeah, that was my coming out story, and it's not exciting, but there you go. Yeah, so I would encourage, if you've got your own channel, to put your own coming out story out there, because I have watched so many coming out stories, and I've seen some heartbreaking ones where people have been like kicked out and stuff, and I've seen some really funny ones, and now I think about it, my offering is just so dull. I told my grandma over a smoked salmon and cream cheese sandwich. Yeah, dull. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go and close caption this now, so you can see it. Hope you enjoyed this video about me coming out. More queer videos to come. Because I'm feeling really like, recently I feel like my bi energy has been really big. I'm feeling especially queer at this point in my life. I don't know why that is, but I really am feeling especially queer. So that's fun. But I love you loads, and I will see you very soon. Tell me what you when I say tell me what you thought in the comments, I don't mean take the piss out of my coming out story, alright? Because I know it's quite an easy coming out story, but it's a part of my life and it's quite a big deal, so don't be taking the piss now. But you can put your own coming out story in the comments if you like, or even better, like if you've got a YouTube channel, then record one and I'll watch it, because I love watching coming out stories. And I hope it went well for you. And if you're worried about coming out, if you're someone who's thinking about coming out, then all I can say to you really is don't feel pressured to come out. Come out in your own time. You never really have to if you don't want to. It's not your fault that we live in a society where everyone assumes you're straight. You're not a liar if you don't come out. And watch coming out videos like this, but watch better ones than mine, because maybe it will like help you a little bit and you're not by yourself basically. Okay, love you loads and I'll see you very soon. Bye.